Welcome back to another episode of our live seasons where we talk about the raw and honest truth to navigating through the different seasons of life. I'm your host Wen, and you've been loving the podcast episodes. Please do leave a review of this podcast on whichever platform that you're on and let me know which topics are your favorite. Before we hop on to today's episode, I just kind of want to give a little announcement. Every single episode of season 2, we have an extended version of the podcast episodes, which will be in our paid community. So the link to the community will be down in the show notes below. So be sure to join us, because in that community you get more intimate interactions with me, and also there will be a lot of raw talks and just basically have just whatever that I want to be posting about on my day-to-day, it will all be there. Just think of it as a little community where I'm just more raw and more honest with my day-to-day life and the seasons that I'm in right now. So yeah, just give the community a little check out. And for those of you who are already in the community, I'm very excited for you guys to hear the extended version of every single one of the episodes, because honestly, they are just amazing and I love the energy in the community. So anyways, let's get back to today's episode. Today, I kind of want to talk about the topic on finding your way back home to yourself. And this is a topic that is really close to me right now, because this period of time, or rather this season of time in my life, I am feeling like I kind of lost myself a little bit as compared to past years where I've just been on a high for a couple of years now. And this year, 2025, or rather 2024 and towards 2025, I've just been a little stagnant, and I'm not really ready to talk about what I'm going through, but you guys know it. I will definitely talk about it when I'm ready to. But right now, whatever episodes that I'm talking about is really just acts as a reminder for myself, and probably for those of you who feel the same as well, who are stagnant, or rather who just feels like you're losing hope on every single day, and your faith just gets wavered and whatnot. So this episode is really for you, and hoping that we will be able to learn as we go through this season of our life together. Okay, so if you've clicked on this episode, you might be feeling like you've lost yourself as well, right? For whatever reason that may be. It can be a breakup, or it can be just not getting the job that you want, or not getting anything, or rather your desires or manifestations that you want in your current life, right? And perhaps those are letting you feel like you have to conform to certain standards. Whichever reason it is, the core reason as to why you feel that you feel like you need to conform to standards or social standards is because you have lost your peace, your solitude, and the connection that you have with yourself. And these are really important pillars in your life, okay? And it's very normal, right? We spend a huge amount of time outside of ourselves, right? With people around us. Inevitably, we take on people's beliefs and we take on people's perspective of life. Ever since we were young, this is just how life is, and this is just how normal humans are, okay? Nothing wrong with that. But when that becomes a detriment, or rather when that perspective becomes a detriment in your life in any way, that is when your higher self will warn you about it, okay? You start feeling like you're being tied down or just confined into this little small box when you know that you're capable of so much more. The air around you suddenly feel so limited, and you feel so suffocated, right? You constantly say things like, I'm suffering, or I can't seem to breathe properly, I have anxiety, I have depression, and all of these are really real situations, okay, that I have been in, anxiety, but it has also helped me to prevent a lot of things from going from bad to worse, okay? Which is why I think I slowly started to introduce moments of peace and solitude into my life, because all these moments are really the ones that have helped me to get better, to really feel better on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is to set aside some time to go within and ask yourself this question. What's coming home to myself look like? Okay, is it being able to laugh at yourself, or being able to laugh wholeheartedly again? Or is it allowing yourself to feel emotions without feeling guilty? Is it the ability to explain yourself to others, or you don't feel like you have to over explain yourself? What is it? What does home look like to you? You may not have the answers right now, especially being away from yourself for quite some time, but spending time alone and asking yourself this one question of what does coming home to myself look like will help you figure out a lot of things that you have to learn and unlearn as well to feel like yourself again, okay? Again, similar to a healing journey, this takes a lot of time. You may not find your answers immediately, and that's okay, but you definitely have a direction to work towards only when you allow yourself to seek for all this peace or all these moments of solitude and these answers to what does home feel like to you, don't focus on the past and don't worry about the past, but focus on the present, only right now, okay? The whole reason why spending time alone with yourself helps is because during this time, however long you want this to be, you allow yourself to actually tap into truly who you are. You ask yourself, who am I really? Who do I really want to be? No identity to keep up with, no correct answers or way to act, because you are just you. You are with yourself. And that creates like a safe space for yourself, for your inner self to come out and to play, okay? If you can't spend time with yourself or you feel like it's not needed, then I want you to think of it again, okay? People come and go, right? But not you. The person that you have to live with on a day-to-day basis till the day you die is you. So if you can't sit with yourself and if you can't enjoy your own company, what makes you think that someone else will enjoy your company? Okay, and running away by not spending time with yourself is not the solution, okay? Because honestly, it might just become worse. You might just feel like you do not know yourself anymore. You feel like you have lost your sense of identity when that person or that situation leaves, okay? And that is when you realize that, oh my god, like I am left alone. A lot of times people feel like they are alone is because they don't enjoy their own company. They don't know themselves enough and they don't want to be by themselves. That is why you would say you feel alone, because at the end of the day, the actual fact is that you are never alone. You have your faith, you have your peace, and you have yourself to live with, okay? So you are never alone. If you find yourself constantly telling yourself that, oh, I feel alone, I feel alone, I feel left out, it's because you are not putting the effort and that time to work on yourself, to be with yourself, okay? So this is your time to do it, all right? So anyways, like I was saying, if this identity of this version of yourself is not allowing you to live out your desires or have that capacity to hold space for your desires, I want you to think of what this version looks like for you, okay? Take this as a time to change the identity before you actually start sulking. So the good news is that everything is a choice, right? Like I mentioned before, everything that you make is a choice. Don't like it, you can change it. There is no need to overcomplicate things, okay? So back to spending time with yourself. See how the more time you spend with yourself and make shifts and changes to better your life, the more you would feel at ease with yourself, the more you will know exactly what you want, right? Because at the end of the day, you are the one that is going to benefit from this the most. No one else, okay? Life will feel so much lighter and enjoyable if you learn to carve out time or out of a day for yourself on a day-to-day to just sit with your thoughts and emotions, asking yourself questions, comforting yourself, unpacking things that are constantly on your mind. If you allow yourself to have that day, trust me, you won't regret the things that you discover about yourself, but you will definitely regret not getting to know yourself earlier, especially when you're constantly growing and learning through the different seasons of our lives, right? You need to be able to catch up with yourself. The earlier you start to get to know yourself, the easier this journey will feel, because you won't have to wonder why life is so tough on you. Instead, you understand it's your perspective and responses to these challenges that matters. Like I said all the time, it's a matter of perspective, okay? And once you start to sit with yourself and reflect on your day, year, or even just overall how you are doing as a friend, as a partner, as a son, as a daughter of your parents, or whatever role that you play to people in your life, you might feel this sense of you not being good enough. This is when practicing self-compassion is really important. I want you to ask yourself, how often do you criticize yourself for your mistakes or shortcomings? Do you beat yourself up for not meeting expectations of others or of what you set for yourself? When was the last time you actually celebrated your little wins, your small wins? When is it? Big or small, right? You gotta celebrate those. So these questions will give you a good sense of how important self-compassion is to you. If you feel like no one is ever kind to you, ask yourself if you're kind to yourself first. This is something that I honestly always talk about. If you're not kind towards yourself, don't expect anyone else to be kind to you, okay? If your answer is no, that you're not kind to yourself, then why would you expect others to be kind to you, right? Like I said, if you don't ever respect yourself first, you can't expect others to respect you, okay? I said this before and I say this again. Everyone is a reflection of you. How you treat yourself is how others will treat you. Like it or not, people learn how to treat you with respect from the respect that you give to yourself, okay? People watch and they see. So if you want people to treat you with kindness or respect, start cultivating kindness towards yourself first, okay? While spending time with yourself, you might realize that at the at you might realize that a lot of the resentments that you build up towards others can actually be healed by you, no one else but you, okay? Because all that they were doing is just reflecting your actions back to you. And once you learn to treat yourself the way you want people to treat you, you'll not only see changes in how people treat you, but also you'll feel that this resentment that you have is slowly resolving itself. Like it or not, we are our biggest critic. We have the nastiest thing to say about ourselves and our efforts. I follow a simple rule of whatever I won't say to others, I won't say it to myself. Okay, this helps yourself to learn how to develop a more positive inner dialogue as compared to calling yourself names and looking down on yourself. Okay, even if it's as a joke, I don't do that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever say things that you don't mean to yourself, even as a joke. Okay, this is a result from practicing self-forgiveness and slowly really recognizing your strengths and building the confidence to know that no one is perfect. As long as you're trying your best with whatever that you have, you are enough. And if ever anyone doubts you, you'll know that you know yourself enough to be able to stand up for yourself and make a stand that you're so confident about. Okay, this builds confidence. Spending time with yourself builds confidence as well. So see the impact of spending time alone. What you do during this time is really crucial, because if you use this time to pick yourself up more and focus on all the flaws and amplify the areas that you are not good enough, the result will be you feeling more shitty about your life and feel like you're stuck in this prison that you have built for yourself and you're not able to escape it. Okay, however, if you take this time to show yourself more love and shower yourself with more affirmation and mantras that boost your confidence, because you get to know more about your strengths and your weakness and embrace every single part of you, having empathy for yourself, you'll watch yourself flourish into this version of you that you've never seen before. Okay, a whole nother level of confidence and capability, one that you'll just be so shocked at yourself for. This is what I like to call your higher self. Okay, the more you do these exercises, the more it'll help with your mental health as you grow and face different situations in life, leveling up. Okay, I hope that this episode is where you start to find that self, that higher self that you love, or do yourself one better, find that higher self, find that favorite self and step into him or her. Okay, that's all for today's episode. Get in our community if you want to get to know more about the extended version of this episode, or rather other resources to help you tap into this new identity and make this year your year of change. Then head down to the show notes below, get into our community. Okay, that's all for today's episode. I am really excited to see you guys flourish and continue to grow with me. Like I said, the link to the community is down below. Please check the show notes, and then I can't wait to see you guys inside. So that's it for now. For all of you who are in the community, I can't wait to see you inside. Bye!